How do you describe Leffen?
Leffen's personality is unique.
I would describe Leffen as somebody that's incredibly confident.
He's someone that is very, very blunt.
He will always tell you exactly what he thinks.
He likes to tell it how it is, and he doesn't care whose feeling he hurts.
He's a bit harsh when you meet him. Like he can come off as like an asshole a bit.
He's an asshole, but he's a fun asshole.
He can be vindictive at times, but it's because he has a lot of pride.
You're never bored when you hang out with him.
He's also a really controversial figure because he went up against the establishment.
My name is William Peter Jelte. I'm 21 years old. I live in Stockholm, Sweden, and I play Super Smash Bros. Melee professionally. I'm known as Leffen.
Super Smash Bros. Melee is a fighting game.
It does away with a lot of the standard rules of fighting games like health bars.
You hit the opponent and you try to increase their percent. As their percent increases, every time you hit them, they get knocked further and further away. The point of the game is to knock them outside of the box, the arena. So they can either die off the sides, off the top, or off the bottom, just depending on what you do.
It's really, really different from what's out there because it does have such a high ceiling and skill cap.
It also gains a lot of popularity because it brings in all of Nintendo's intellectual property. All the characters are iconic, and because of that popularity, a big grassroots competitive scene grew out.
The reason I love Super Smash Bros. Melee, you have to be really technical, and like no other game consistently proven to be like extremely enjoyable and fulfilling to me. Once you're in the heat of the moment, it's 2-2 last stock, and you're waiting on the platform, it's waiting to go down, and both of you know like this is it. The winner takes all, and the loser's gonna be salty. That's just a really special feeling, and I don't think any other field of life could give me that.
And that is it, Leffen is the champion of Beast 5!
He started playing video games really early, about 3 or 4 years old, and he was really good at it from the beginning. When other mothers start to driving the kids to football practice, I drove him to town to practice Smash. It was on a regular basis, 2-3 times a week.
My first tournament, it's like 6-7 hours away. My dad and mom actually drove me there. Back then I wasn't like good or anything. I'd only been playing for a couple weeks, and I think I barely didn't make it out of pools. And then from there, it wasn't like, oh, this guy is super amazing. It was like, this guy is improving really quickly. And for every tournament, I like kept just moving one step up. Like it was 33rd, it was 25th, it was 17th.
I was already established as a good player in Europe back then, and he was pretty much new. And I could already see the potential in him, and I was really impressed how good he was for the short amount of time he was into the game.
I never planned to become a professional player, and it was just like, really, I wanted to be the better player. I wanted to see how far I can push my characters and how I could destroy the opponent's characters. In the end, it was all because I really liked the game. I don't think you can really become truly great at something if you don't really love it.
First I think I ever met him was probably at Genesis 2. He was a Falco player back then. And he wasn't, you know, a god, but I think even as early as Genesis 2, 2011, he was quite strong.
At the time, I was top 5 in the world, and then this guy, I'd never really played him or heard of him. As a player, I saw that he was pretty formidable, pretty good opponent.
In about the 6 years before Leffen came to prominence, tournaments were won by all the same guys. Hungrybox, Mango, PPMD, Armada, and Mewtwo King. Those 5 people won every single tournament.
Every single one. And it was insane because very clearly number 6 was significantly worse than number 5.
And they were so much better than everyone else that it seemed unfathomable for other people to break into that echelon. And Leffen was the first to do it.
So the era of the 5 gods is finally over.
When you're looking at everyone else that's out there, the majority of them have been playing for a decade. He's been playing this for half of that.
Leffen was definitely one of the few people who showed that, like, look, anyone can show up at any time and actually pose a threat to these people.
Oh, I thought he would grab it. It's over.
He probably didn't plan on doing that. He probably didn't care to do that. He just wanted to beat them. But it did actually help the community as a whole become a lot better.
He was a big smack talker as he was doing it too.
I feel bad for him. Dude, like, he doesn't have a sponsor.
he was talking a lot of mess and then he was backing it up. And that was really refreshing to see, and I think it shook things up for a lot of people.
The whole beating everybody was really more of a narrative that other people created, and for me it was just like, I want to win Apex. And Mute King happened to stand in my way. I was like, oh great, you know, I get to knock that off the list. But obviously it was a really fun experience to just be able to say, I'm the God Slayer, I beat everybody. It's a fun title to have to like kind of tear down the expectation that these players are unbeatable.
I definitely think God Slayer is maybe one of Leffen's favorite monikers. It almost sounds like it's something better than being a god to being someone who slays the gods. I can imagine that he likes it.
So Leffen, during the latter part of last year, in the middle part of it too, he started winning everything. There was a point where people thought, okay, maybe he's not only on the same level as these six, but maybe he's the best of the entire group. Maybe he is the best in the world.
He gets the obsession, Leffen takes it!
But then he tried to take a flight over from Sweden to America, and he was actually rejected at the door. He was not allowed to enter. It was one of the biggest controversies of the Smash calendar year, and we haven't seen him since.
Leffen was stopped in his tracks from becoming the best player by the United States government.
I guess no one could beat him, so US Customs did.
They see a young guy traveling in and out of the country a lot, and they think that he's smuggling drugs. It sort of came up that, oh, he's being paid by this American company. He needs a working visa, and that's why he got deported. He gets his passport and things back, and then the plane lifts.
When Leffen got denied entry to the US, we were all a bit shocked because we didn't see it coming, and neither did he.
At the time, I thought that when Leffen was denied entry, that it'd be, you know, a quick fix, and then all of a sudden it dawned on me, this stuff can be real, and it can be a big problem. We might not see Leffen in the US again.
Your form I-129 petition for non-immigrant worker filed in behalf of William Peter Jelte has been denied for the following Criterion reasons. 1 has not been met. U.S. Department of Homeland Security, after careful review and consideration of the entire record, 7. Smash Bros. Melee is not considered a legitimate sport. Consequently, your form filed in behalf of William Peter Jelte has been denied.
The U.S. government's decision, or the customs decision to not let Leffen back into the country, the fact that none of us here are happy about that shows that beyond Leffen's role as a villain, beyond the things he might have done and said, there is just a damn respect for us, Fox, above everything.
With Leffen, I think we all laughed at it at first, but as we found out the severity of it, as we found out how long it would be, I think that hurt a lot.
At least for the US majors, it feels there's something missing, something that brings the force into balance.
It's like your favorite rapper being locked up. You want them to drop an album, but they're in jail.
He's not a liar or a cheat. He's not a criminal. It's stupid.
This is the thing he wants and loves the most, and he's in the prime of his career, and he just can't compete. It's forced out of his control.
Now that I'm like second best in the world at Smash Bros, what would have to happen now? What do I have to get delayed on my practice?
Almost all the big tournaments and the best players are all in America. It's definitely harsh for him now to try to keep up with the other guys and prove himself to the other guys. Now then he can't even play against them.
I'm missing out on everything. I'm sitting here in Sweden. Am I ever gonna get a visa? Do I have to quit? You wake up and you're like, what did I wake up for? Like, what am I gonna do?
But we've talked about the motivation thing a lot, because I also don't really understand how he keeps it going. Everyone else is going to tournaments, everyone else is leveling up. It's difficult.
That's life, bad thing happened, then you go through it and you come up stronger.
I want to be the best, even if it's even harder than before. That's just more reason for me to try harder. Just because you think you're good, Hungerbox, just because Armada thinks he's the best Swede now and because I haven't been able to practice, don't expect this to last. I will keep playing. I will keep playing until I'm the best, and you know that you cannot stop me forever. I'm coming for you guys.